Welcome. This is the Road to Winged Foot powered by Cisco Webex. We're excited to hang out with Viktor Hovland for a little bit and hear about some of his prep for this year's US Open at Winged Foot. Viktor, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So this week, your prep, you're getting ready the week before. What does it look like? What are you doing?
Well, I just came home from a 3-week stretch. So first of all, it's a matter of kind of resting up a little bit, just recharging the batteries. But it's obviously US Open week next week, and as we know, you have to drive the ball really straight, and ball striking is really essential out there. So just doing a couple of fine tuning around my ball striking, and hopefully we'll be ready come next week.
Do you have any favorite games or drills that you're working on right now? Help you dial some of that in.
It's so I was using on the range last week. Gosh, what is it called? Total Golf Trainer or something like that.
Yep.
It has like a red ball, and you can bend it in certain different ways to kind of help your wrist move a certain way. So just working on that a little bit, but it's mostly I like to spend time in front of just a mirror and just get a visual for it, and then try to implement the feel that way.
What are you working on right now? Something in the backswing and the downswing?
It's very simple, kind of just backswing stuff. I've never been a fan of doing a lot of stuff kind of in the downswing, or doing stuff that happens later, because that's all the reaction to what you do earlier in the golf swing. So it's just managing, making sure that my club doesn't get stuck behind me, just kind of more in front of my hands going back, and then hopefully that'll take care of the stuff going after that.
So the question is, and I think every golfer have this, is where does my swing go from the range to the first tee, right? You're about to step on to a mildly pressure-filled first tee of the US Open. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
How do you get that swing to stay with you, or how do you make those swing changes stick? That's always so tough.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't really had that problem. Personally, if I'm hitting it like crap on the range, I'm probably going to hit it like crap on the course. That's just kind of just me personally. If I'm hitting it really good on the driving range, I'm probably going to hit it pretty good on the golf course. Now, that doesn't always mean that I'm going to shoot a good or a bad score, because that matters, how you play with your dispersion. You can hit a good shot, but just pull it a little left of kind of where you were aiming, and you end up in deep trouble compared to if you miss it on the right side, you're going to have a lot easier shot. So there's a lot of things that play into that way. But for me personally, if I'm playing really good in practice, I'm probably going to be hitting it pretty good on the golf course as well.
How are you hitting it right now during practice? Where's the game at?
Honestly, last couple months have been a little tough for me, tee to green. But I've actually been putting the ball a lot better, and chipping's come along nicely. So the last few events, I've really hit it bad, but with kind of good short game and just scrambling the ball really well, I've been able to make the cut and kind of gain enough points to get into East Lake at least.
Have you played winged foot before?
I had never, no, but I heard it's going to be a good test.
Do you have have you seen any data or seen any ideas on what kind of strategy are you going in pretty cold?
No, I'm going in blind, so you probably know more than me. So if you know something I don't, feel free to, give me a little lesson.
Well, you've done well in USGA events. Obviously, you have the USAM win, and then last year you had an insane finish. As an amateur, is phenomenal at the US Open. Did you go in blind to Pebble? Had you been there before you won the USAM, or was that a?
So we had played a college event out there called the Carmel Cup. So I believe I had played that tournament twice, or maybe just once. I believe I played it twice. So I'd seen the golf course maybe 10 times before showing up at the USAM. but obviously the conditions are way different. Normally every day, Pebble Beach kind of plays like a resort golf course. And then for the USGA events, they just completely change it. The greens are firm and fast, and rough is really thick, and fairways are even narrower. Now that's going to be a little different for Winged Foot because I've never seen the golf course before. But sometimes it doesn't help you all that much if you've seen the course in a way different condition, because then you're kind of used to playing the golf course in that way, and then it's just so different from that particular way you played it. So I don't think that necessarily is a bad thing. We have 2 practice rounds, or more than that, should you need it to kind of map out what you need to do.
Are you a golfer that enjoys trying to break par and being around par, or do you enjoy more of the shootouts where you're going to 20 under plus? Which is more in your cup of tea?
I think it's a good mix. I like to do both. I think it's very rewarding to play awesome golf and shoot 1 over or even par 1 under. I just think that's very rewarding. As a golfer, you know that, okay, I shot it under par today. That was no fluke. Sometimes you can play an easier course and you can shoot 5, 6, 7 under, and you know that you would have struggled at another place. You just kind of missed it on the right sides and got hot. But you just can't fake it. But it has to be a balance too. It can't just be silly hard where you're hitting good shots and it's just you're making bogey regardless. I thought Olympia Fields, which we played a couple of weeks ago, that was such an awesome test of golf. It was playing super difficult, but it was still fair. If you played well, you were shooting a good score.
What's worse for you? I don't know. Is it the first tee shot or the first putt where it's like you have your hands shake a little bit when you grip the putter?
That's a good question.
Which one is it for you? I can't handle those putts, man. That first putt sucks.
It depends a little bit. You get on Augusta and you get like a nasty 7-footer downhill slider. I'd probably be a little bit more nervous over that putt than maybe the first tee shot. But it's just like, it makes a big difference. You piping a drive 300 yards down the middle on the first tee versus hooking it into the left trees. That's a big difference on where you want to start. Worst case at Augusta, you can 3-putt, but most of the time you're probably just going to 2-putt. So that's, if you just get on the green at 2, you know that a par is not going to hurt you that much. So, but it goes both ways.
So let's talk strategy when you head out there and you're playing some practice rounds. What do you look for? Like, how do you choose what you're going to hit off tee boxes, choosing your targets and that stuff? Do you have a formula or any kind of strategy that you're using for that?
No, I'm sure a lot of other guys, they have kind of stats guys to tell them, okay, you probably need to hit it this far on this hole, and it's so and so wide at certain distances. But my strengths are usually off the tee. I don't hit it the longest, but I hit it fairly straight when I'm on. So for me, that makes sense to take advantage of that. Maybe some places where guys elect to hit irons or 3-woods off the tee, I feel like I need to use that strength and hit driver and gain some shots there. So I'm pretty aggressive. It doesn't really take me a whole lot of time to figure out what club I need to hit. I just pull driver and see how it goes. Then make some adjustments after that. But a lot of it is, okay, which side is better to miss on? Sometimes the angle is better from the left side of the rough or the right side of the rough. And then just around the greens, just get used to how firm the first bounce is, and just getting used to a couple of the slopes and seeing where they're probably going to put pins.